What's up, you guys? Welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm right here with my good friend Jerry. Make sure to check him out. He's going to be in the description box below. So if you guys do need any of your guys' installs, his information will be there. So for today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be installing some Kings onto my Tacoma. So as you can tell, they are right here. These are going to be the 2.5 extended travel from King. I did get these off of runningfortacos.com. Make sure to check them out as well. They'll be in the description box below. If you guys do end up wanting to go ahead and purchase yourself a set, I do also have a discount code. It'll be in the description box below. Another thing we're going to be installing today, as you guys probably already know, we're going to also be installing a front bumper here pretty soon from CBI Off-Road. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some Eibach 700 springs onto the Kings just to kind of support the weight and make it for a nice ride. Another thing we're going to be installing today is going to be some Camburg arms that are right here. These are the brand new ones, the X joint style. So you guys will see once they're installed onto the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and let Jerry, of course, install it as always, because he always does a great job. So let's go ahead and now get into the video and show you guys how it's done, and then we'll show you guys exactly how it looks once it's installed. Let's get it. Before we do get into the install, I did also want to let you guys know, just in case you guys saw these bad boys right here, these are going to be the 12-inch smooth body Kings. I also got these on runningfortacos.com. Check them out, description box below. But like I said, these will be installing them in a different video because it does require a lot more done to it to make these things fit on a Tacoma. You guys will see, of course, when that video comes out, so stay tuned.
All right, guys, so what we're gonna do here, we have the Kings right here on the floor. We're gonna take him to the spring compressor because we're gonna do the adjustments and the coil swap from the 600s, so you can tell right here. So you can tell you got the 600s right here, so you got the 700s right here. Okay, so and also these ones are gonna be 14 inches long. Okay, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna remove this bottom piece from the King. We're gonna compress the coils, we're gonna take it apart. We're gonna take this one off and gonna pull the other one in. Okay, so we're gonna show you guys the process right now, how we do it on the spring compressor. Okay, so now when you have it set up right here on the spring compressor, this little bolt right here to release the pressure of the ring that is holding the compression of the coil is gonna be a 316. Before you loosen this one out, you have a little bit of pressure right here so you don't snap it. Okay, go ahead and now compress it all. Okay, now, as you can see, we can take this piece out. All you have to do is just release the pressure of it. And now you can actually move your ring. You're gonna go all the way up because the other ones are gonna be longer. Take it out. All right, guys, so now that we put the shock in, we compress the coil. So now we're gonna put this part back. So just gonna slide it like that, it goes in. All right, we have to set the preload on it because now obviously you got it free, so it's way easier just to raise it up a little and then just do it with your hand, you see. So I have my own measurements and my own, I would say, tricks to adjust my own preload, but obviously if you can check King's specs to make sure that you get him in the sweet spot. It could be different for everybody, so that way, you know, I don't make it a rule. In this case, this is the driver's side. I'm gonna do the adjustment for the 700, considering the weight and the tackling, of course, of the Tacoma. Like I said, I have my own numbers. I'm gonna set it up like that, and hopefully, you know, we get it on the sweet spot. Okay, now that you guys have put your desired preload or adjustments, you can go ahead and tighten this one out. Make sure that your hose, obviously the center of the coilover, lines out with the bottom. Okay, that way you don't have any fitting issues when you put it on your lower. I'll release the pressure.
And of course, once you do one side, you want to go ahead and do the opposite side. So that's what we're going to be doing next. But like he said, for his specifications to what bumper I have, what steel skid plates I have, and just everything that I'm going to be running on the truck, he did the preload for me. So for you guys, it may vary. And of course, we are going to be considering the taco lean, so one side might be slightly higher than the other, just to account for that. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I'd highly suggest just take it to someone that knows, and that's Jerry right there, of course. So make sure to hit him up if you guys need some help installing this. You guys can set your appointment with him. So now we're gonna go ahead and, of course, like I said, finish up the other side, and then we'll pop it into the truck and show you guys.
All right guys, so now we're gonna start with removing the uppers, because we're gonna put new ones. We're gonna start with a size 19 nut right here in the back. Gonna take this one off too. This is gonna be a 10. Gonna bend the pinch wheel, you know, with the pliers. We're gonna bend it so we can pull this bolt through. Lastly, take this one out. Gonna be a 22.
And as you can tell, now that he has 2 on each side, it just makes it a lot easier. So what he's going to be doing on this side is, of course, removing the nut by hand. And once he takes it out all the way, that's when we'll go over here to the pinch weld and we'll bend this back, which you guys will see.
So remember guys, you have a little harness in the back, so you don't want to grab that with the pliers, okay?
Heck yeah. And the reason you need to do that, because if you guys don't, this bolt will not come out. We need it to go this way. To do that though, sometimes it might be a little stiff, so you might need to hit it on this side to bring the bolt out. So you guys will see that right now as well. I will be honest, in this section here, you might need to be a little bit strong to break these bolts loose. Me personally, I'm pretty weak, I'm not gonna lie, so I can't do it. That's why Jerry's here to go ahead and handle that. Then you go down here, and that's gonna be a size 22mm socket to go ahead and remove that nut. One thing we did want to note though, you don't want to remove the nut all the way. You guys will see why. Alright, and if you guys saw that, what he did was he smacked it on this side on the knuckle, and that actually releases tension and lets the upper control arm loose. And then you can remove that nut.
Don't forget about your ABS right here. Before you pull this one out, you gotta remove this one so we can cut it free, okay?
Oh yeah, and that's going to be, of course, like he said earlier, a size 10mm socket. To remove it, it's going to be super easy. Just do not forget that, because that is very crucial. Just a little tip, whenever removing any bolts like this, you can go ahead and put it back just like that, just so you don't lose it. So what he's doing is, of course, the nut, now he's removing it all the way. He's going to take out the washer, and then that's when you're going to try to do it by hand, and if you can't, get something to kind of hit it from this side to go ahead and pull the bolt all the way out.
Guys, once you release this, you want to put like a little bungee strap or something right here, like a little cable, whatever you can do, so you don't stretch your ABS nor your brake line, okay?
So now we're going to show you guys exactly how to put the Camburg upper control arms all together. So if you guys did get the same UCA as me, this is going to be for you guys. So as you can tell, these are the brand new ones from Camburg, which is the X joint. So they look awesome. So looking right over here, inside the baggie, you're going to get a couple things. But what you want to do is, just for one arm, what you want to get is going to be 4 of these rubber bushings here. And then you're going to want to go ahead and get 2 of these bushings as well. These are the metal ones. And then you're going to want to go ahead and get 4 of these silver washers. And you're going to want to go ahead and get 1 of the caps. These caps are going to be right up top here, so that way it looks nice and clean. You're going to want to go ahead and get 2 of these fittings, as you guys can tell. And then you want to get yourself some grease, which comes provided. So of course, this is the step for just one arm. We're going to show you guys, and then you guys do the same exact steps to the other side as well. Let's get it. What we're going to start with is going to be with the rubber bushings. So he's going to be greasing it up right now, but I just want to show you guys. So of course, as you can tell, this is the flat side. Over here, it's like the interior side. So this is the part that you do want to grease, the inside part. So let me show you guys one that's already done, just so you guys get an idea. So there it is. So you want to do that, of course, to all 4. And just to help you guys out, up next, what he's doing right here is getting the grade 8 bushings as well. And those, he's going to just put some lube in there as well, just to kind of help it out, to make it slide a lot easier.
Just put the bushing on the bottom, okay? Just put it just with your hand, just a little. Okay, yeah, sideways, so pretty much.
So as you can tell right now, all he's doing is just kind of setting them. He didn't put it in all the way yet, as you can tell. He's just kind of setting them to make this thing easier. Once we get there with both sides, then he can go ahead and push them all the way down.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab the other ones on top.
Now what you want to do is you want to make sure they're flat So as you can tell, there's spacing there. Just want to make sure all of these are flat, and then that's how you know they're installed properly. Once you finish up putting the bushings, up next what you want to go ahead and do is now we're going to go ahead and flip it on the back side, and you're going to notice on the bottom there's going to be a hole right there, and there's going to be a hole right there. So that's where you're going to go ahead and grab these little fittings here, because that's where these two are going to go. Of course, now that you've started it with your hands on both of those, you want to go ahead and get yourself a size 10mm wrench and tighten this down and tighten this down. You do want the little arms facing inwards. You don't want them outwards. Let's get it. So now that you've done that on the arm, now you want to go ahead and get one of these things which come provided. Let me show you. So this is going to be another fitting, and this little fitting here is going to go right up top inside, as you can tell right there. You want to go ahead and of course just do it by hand for now, and then after you can tighten it down all the way. Nice 7mm socket to tighten it all the way down. You want to go ahead and grease this. You guys will see in a bit, but you want to go ahead and grease this, and then after that, that's where the caps go. Now that we're back right here next to the truck, as you can tell, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting grease on this bushing here on the outside, on right here on the outside of it, the outside of this one, and the outside of this one. You guys will see why, but it is crucial to do that. That way everything just kind of runs smoothly. Once you do that, then we'll get to installing it to the truck.
JesseRizo is here for you. Is here for
Now that you greased it up, you want to go ahead and get your washers that I was telling you guys. It's going to be 2 for each side. One for this side, one for that side, and then one for there, and one for the opposite side. And once you kind of have that idea, then go back to the truck, and exactly the way you took off your stock one, you want to go ahead and now put on the brand new one, just repeating the steps backwards.
JesseRizo is here for you. Is here for you. Now. Like I said, it's
Just so you see, the bolt is through now. There's one of the silver washers I told you. There's another silver washer there. Once you get it through this way, on that third washer, which is right here, that part does get a little bit hard, but you can do it. Then you put your next washer, which is right here. Right off the bat, just with those brand new arms, it looks freaking awesome. I'm excited about this. Let's get it. All right, you guys, so now that we put the arm kind of together, as you guys can see, we put that brand new Camburg washer right there, and then the brand new nut that comes provided. You're gonna notice we now put this piece here, which was from Camburg, and then the bolt is through, and then the 2 washers are there, and the nut. So next right here, you're gonna notice there is that cotter pin nut. So all we have left now is going to be putting the cotter pit. Once we tighten it all the way down, then we can slide this through. You guys will see.
So I'm just gonna tighten it a little, and then make sure that you bring it back to stock spec. Just gonna leave it like that for now, then I'm gonna get my torque wrench, okay? Quick tip, guys. I've seen a lot of customers greasing up their bushings without losing the bolt. You have to release the pressure of the bushings first, because otherwise, if you don't do that, you're gonna put a lot of pressure with the grease, and then the bushings, they just gonna go bad. Obviously they're gonna explode, and you're gonna start getting donuts instead of getting the bushings. So, and then you start getting all the this vibration on the uppers, you start getting these squeaking noises and all that. That's because, and then you start putting more grease on it, and that's not related with the grease, that's related with the pressure that you applied to the bushings. So make sure that you have no pressure on this, so you can see everything is released, no pressure on it.
Of course, if you can't get your hands on a grease gun like this, that's why you hit up shop where that goes inserted. If you guys do remember, at the bottom of the control arms, we were putting those gold fittings, one there and one on the opposite side. So basically that's where he's filling it through. And then of course after that, we'll do the top right here. Of course, now that you've greased up all of them, now you want to go ahead and tighten everything down like he had said earlier to spec. So now we can go ahead and put that cotter pin as well right at the bottom. So just to show you, as you guys can see, we put the cotter pin all the way through. Now you want to go ahead and get yourself like some needle nose pliers or something like that and bend it to the side. Also did forget to mention, make sure to tighten down this ABS line. All right, you guys, so now that we have everything set up, tightened down, good to go, now we're gonna go ahead and put the cap that goes right up top. And the cool thing about that, it is aluminum, so it's gonna look freaking awesome, and you already know it's good quality, so let's throw that on there. For this next step, we're going to go ahead and now remove the shocks to go ahead and put the brand new ones. First thing we're going to go ahead and do is, as you can tell, right here is the cam bolts, and then on this side as well, right there, those nuts are going to be a size 22mm socket to remove, so that's what we're going to go ahead and loosen right now. Hell yeah. All right, you guys, so now that you loosened that nut there and that one there, up next, we're gonna go ahead and now loosen these ones here. This is gonna be a size 19 millimeter socket to go ahead and remove that nut, which is the bottom part of the shock. After that, we're gonna go ahead and look down here, and you're gonna notice there's also two right there. So there's one there and one there. Those are also gonna be a size 19 to go ahead and loosen up the knuckle. Alright, you guys, so there it is. You should be able to take out that bolt. Just kind of play with the lower control arm, and it'll help release the tension on that bolt to release it. As you guys can see, now it's down. So let's go ahead and now move on to the next step, which is going to be up there at the top. There's going to be 3 bolts. So there's going to be one here, and one back here that you guys probably can't see. To remove those 3, that's going to be a size 17 millimeter socket, and then we'll go from there, and this thing should release. And there it is, you guys, as you can tell. Right now, that's how it looks naked. You guys are gonna see how badass it's gonna look when we put the brand new ones. Like I said, description box below if you want to go ahead and buy them. There is a discount code there for you guys. And then if you guys do need installation, you guys can hit up Jerry. That'll also be in the description. So now that we got the Camburgs fully installed, the old suspension is now pulled out, as you guys can tell. So now we're gonna go ahead and show you what hardware you're gonna need right now to go ahead and install the brand new Kings. What you're gonna want to go ahead and get is you're gonna want to go ahead and get 2 of these hose clamps that do come provided. There should be 4 in the bag. Of course, the other 2 are gonna be for the opposite side. But you want to go ahead and get 2 of these bad boys right here for one side. And then now for the actual bolts and stuff like that, you're gonna notice you're gonna get some of these bolts right here with these like spacers, metal spacers in there. So those 2 are going to be actually, if you guys do have a factory skid plate, which I don't, as you guys can see, I do have a BFAB skid plate. So if you guys want to get that, description box below. But since I do have an aftermarket one, I don't need to use these. But if you guys do have your factory skid plate, you guys do want to grab that. So up next, you're going to notice right here, there's going to be 2 of these black ones. They are like with an Allen key. These 2 are going to be for the bottom of the reservoir bracket. You guys will see where we install that. So you want to grab 2 of those. And then one thing we did want to give you guys a tip on, you're going to notice on these gold ones here, the grade 8 bolts, there's going to be 3 here, which are longer, and there's going to be 2 here, which are shorter. So the 2 shorter ones with the washers here, as you guys can see, the 2 shorter ones are going to be if you guys do have a sway bar. As far as for me, I don't have my sway bar anymore, so it's completely gone. But if you guys do have your guys' stock sway bar, this is just for the relocation. So that I'm not going to use as well. What I'm going to be using is going to be these 3 here, and with 3 washers. That is actually going to be for the top side of the Kings. When we go to install them up here, you guys will see. So let's go ahead and now get to the install. Now that I showed you guys what hardware to go ahead and grab, let's do it. And we did want to let you guys know, as far as for the reservoir brackets, they're only going one way. So driver side has its own, and then of course passenger side has its own. So if you see that it's not going in, that's because you got the wrong one. So right now we are working on the driver side one, and as you can tell, the orientation of it, it's slightly slanted this way towards the control arm. And then he just was putting on the 2 black bolts that I showed you guys earlier that have the Allen key. So now we just need to go ahead and tighten that down, so that way this bracket is secure. And that's of course where the reservoir is going to be mounted, right about there. And that's where you use those hose clamps. You guys will see. It's going to look freaking awesome. I'm excited already, even though it's not done. You guys have no idea how long I've been waiting for this moment. So it's big for me. So can't wait to test these things out. And of course, once we put these bad boys right here, you guys cannot see how big these things are on camera, but trust me, in real life, these things are long. So it's gonna look really good. Let's keep going. What's that? So just in case you guys are curious, that's gonna be a 5/16 Allen key, or if you guys do have these socket ones for the gun, it makes it a lot easier to tighten those down on the bracket. So start off with putting it over this here, of course, so that way it slides right in. Just kind of get it in place, and once you do, then you can focus on trying to get the arm over it, just like that. And then you can pop it into its position, just like he did there. Of course, right here, what you want to do is that's where you go ahead and grab these bolts that I was telling you guys, the longer ones. And for these grade 8 bolts, for the top ones that are going to go right up top to go ahead and tighten down the King, that's going to be a size 14 millimeter socket. And there it is, you guys. Nice and clean. Looks good. Let's keep going. So what he's going to do right now is he's going to put the lower control arm kind of back together. So he's going to grab the stock factory bolts that we took out from the bottom. So the actual bolt is going to come from the back to the front. You guys will see right now when it pops right out. This section here, since all this is kind of heavy, it may be a little bit hard if you're doing this at home, but as you can tell, it's right through. It has to be pushed out more, so you can use a hammer or something like that to push it out. So now that you have it in that direction, go ahead and put the nut on this side, which is, like I said, to the front, and the bolt goes in through the back. Now that we have it in place, one thing Jerry did want to tell you guys is he does put some Loctite here at the bottom of the shock, and then he tightens it down to spec after that. That'll just kind of help it so that way this thing doesn't get loose when you guys are off-road or anything like that. And then of course right here at the bottom of the spindle, if you guys do remember, we took off 2 bolts there. Those are also going to get some Loctite, so it just kind of prevents these stuff from falling out over time, of course, from going off-road. Regardless, though, you guys should be checking your bolts every time you guys go off-road, because you never know what can get loose, especially if you guys are taking your truck pretty hard. Things can get loose. Keep that in mind, you guys. Now that we have everything torqued down to spec, all we have left, of course, is going to be the reservoir. So that's going to go mounted here. So you want to go ahead and now get your hose clamps. As you can tell, we have one there, and then one's going to go, of course, to the bottom, so we can put that in there. Super easy, nothing hard about this. One thing you do want to take note on is, as you can tell, we do have enough space here, so that way it won't be rubbing the upper control arm whenever it's all the way down or up. You want to make sure on that when you guys are installing these, because if you don't pay attention to that and this hose is a little closer over here, over time it's going to rub it and you're going to end up ripping it, or something's going to go wrong. Hell yeah, and as you can tell, now it's all done. All right, you guys, so of course, now that we're back home, before I show you guys how the truck looks, now that the Kings are installed, I wanted to let you guys know, if you guys want to go ahead and purchase yourself a set, or just the fronts, or just the rears, doesn't matter, check out the description box below, because I do have a discount code for you guys, so you can go ahead and purchase it there. Another thing, a lot of products on the Running for Tacos website, I also have a discount code for it as well, so go check out their website, see if something that you like, go ahead and try out my discount code. If it works, awesome. If not, let me know, and I'll see what I can do for you guys. So let's go ahead and now move on to the truck and show you guys how it looks. Of course, it's going to look a lot different in person than it looks on camera. So right now I'll try to get you guys a little better picture, but before I do that though, I wanted to let you guys know. So of course, in the front, we did end up doing the 2.5 extended travel with adjusters and reservoirs on the front. And of course, for the rear, we're going to end up doing the 12-inch smooth body with adjusters and reservoirs, which that'll be in a different video. It's going to be a whole video on itself because it is a lot longer process. So I hope you guys enjoy when we do that video. Just stay tuned for it. And of course, once everything is installed, we'll go ahead and show you guys how it is off-road, because it actually adds a lot of articulation. You guys will see when that video comes out. Let's go ahead and now get you guys a little bit closer and explain a little bit more. So of course, I didn't measure it out, but I just want to show you guys how it looks on camera. So as you guys can tell, I mean, it does give it a lot of height. One thing to note though, I do have my fenders cut because I do have 35s. So without that, it would have been rubbing like crazy, and I didn't want that. But it should overall be about a 3-inch lift, just to give you guys an idea. And just look how awesome this thing looks. As you can tell, they're super beefy, and especially with the Camburg X joint brand new control arms that they just came out with, it looks super good. And like I had said, later on we'll be doing the rears, which that's going to be another project, and it's going to look so freaking awesome. Let me give you guys an explanation why. So of course, with regular just shocks on a Tacoma, it does end up stopping about right here. When you guys do the extended travel smooth bodies, it actually brings up the shock all the way up to about here if you guys do go with the 12-inch like me. So it's going to look freaking awesome, and like I said, it's going to help out with articulation. So make sure to stay tuned for that video. But just to give you guys a back look just like this, it looks good. I know the back's a little bit leaned out, one because the truck's on a hill, and two because there's a lot of weight back here and we haven't installed the front bumper. So of course, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Super simple. Please feel free to subscribe.